Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to do a tutorial on the song called Frenzy by Rayson Paul Gilbert. So I'm just going to focus on the solo, which is the majority of the song. Okay. So the first phrase goes something like this. That's actually the first half of the first phrase. So starting on the 12 on the top E, like that, and then go to B string, G string, G12, starting on G12, and D12. All right. Coming back up to a hammer-on pull-off on the 9. Alright. Moving on. I play 3 notes here, starting on the 10th fret of A. And then I pick into a pull there. And the next part, 3 notes on the low E. And then you have this pattern. So it's really 2 notes, and then you do this pattern. Sorry. So you have first finger on the 7th fret of the low E. So slower. 7, 8, 10, 7. So you have that pattern, and occasionally you go up. Alright, so let me do that whole thing twice. Okay. That's one time, the second time. Alright. And you do the whole thing twice. The third time, I'm trying to exit that lick. You can do variations on it. And then when I try to exit this, I do pull-offs on the low E, like that. And I'll play the next lick. Starting on the A string, 7, 8, 7, 8. And then you play. And then on the A string. And then starting on D10 fret. Sorry, so that part slowly. I'm obviously not naming all the fret numbers because I trust that I'm slow enough that you can figure out what I'm doing. So the whole thing's slow. Alright, that's the first lick, really long. Second lick, you choose your neck pickup, and you go. So the first couple notes, you start on the 12 of B, like that. You go up to E, back to B string, like that. And then you do a stretch here. And then here, I do a string skip instead of a sweep picking, which is different from the original. So it works for me. So just the string skipping part would be 12th fret on the E. 17, 14, 12 on a G, and then 15 on A. Alright, so you do something like that. Alright, so so far. Yeah, and after that, you just slide to the D, so 10. B string right now, and then I scale. So the scale part is ending on the 11 of A string. So that whole part's slow. That's the second, like, okay, one more time cleaner. Alright. And then the third lick. Okay, some more Paul Gilbert goodness there. So I start on a 13 with my pinky. You did a rake there with your right hand with your pick, so you have to mute your strings really well. Okay, so and then a shift to 10th fret. So and then all right, so far. All right, and then go like this. All right, so I need to start from the top. Sorry, it should have been this. And then you have this new pattern here. And then go back up. So I'm on the 5th fret with my first finger here on a B string. And then go up. Alright. You have this flat 5 here. So 4, 5, 7 here. Alright, so this pattern, you have this Paul Gilbert thing here. Alright, so the whole thing. So I went back up actually. Sorry. Just one more time, really slow. Apologies for not being able to explain that really slowly, because something like that is meant to be really fast. Alright, so that's the third lick. After that, you have a stretching lick. So you go to 12. So 12, 15, 19. So that's a monster stretch. I'm using my 1, 2, and 4. Right. So you got to relax your hand if you can. And you go something like this. And then you play 12. Alright, something like that. Okay, so you have the E on 12 on the E string. Okay, you can do that once or a few more times if you would like. So you have this pattern, basically the same frets on the top E, but you do this pattern instead. So I would suggest going like, oh sorry. Alright. One more time. Something like that. All right. Again, it's just this pattern again. All right. And then go to 11, hammer on, hammer on. Yeah, so the whole thing slow. Alright, that's the third lick. And then we have some chord tones. So you have E minor, so really high up, so you really need a 4th fret guitar to pull this off, I think. Alright, so 17, I think it's 22 here, 21, 21, and then D major. So, and then C major, B major, A minor, G major, F sharp, major, yeah, and then the lick that comes after that, you do a rig here again. So ending on the 5th of G. And the next lick, start on a B, the 4th fret of G. So it's 4, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8. Alright, so slowly, the whole thing. So they're meant to be played as one thing, so something like that. Moving on, the next lick, I'll just do something like this. So it goes from the 4th fret, and then 5th fret on the B, and then do this Paul Gilbert pattern. And then we have an open string lick. So open B, so 5, 8, 5 open, and then you play D, so 7th fret on the G, a bend at the end, something like that. So if I play the whole thing slowly, and coming up with some tapping licks. Alright, so the pattern is something like this. You hit the 4th fret here. So that's the pattern. So E. So it has 2 parts. The first part, that was the first part. Second part, so you use your pinky. Second part again. First part. Second part. Combine them. Sorry. Something like that. You can go on forever. And then I change shape. Let's outline the G major chord here. So basically the same pattern, but you do that on the G major chords. D, A, B. Hammer on with your pinky like that. And then the second time, C. Yeah. Okay, one more time slower. And then you do a precision shift, so I play D, A, and then hammer on to F, and then tap G. So far, the tapping part. One more time, very slow. Sorry, too slow. I'll do that part one more time. And then you shift down 2 frets. You tap here on the 7th fret. Yeah. So the whole thing slightly faster. Something like that. And then you do a tapping like that goes up the neck. So we end it here, right? Yeah. And then we have an open string tapping lick, which goes something like this. So you do a pull off with your first finger, pull off with your tap, and then pull off again with your first finger on your left hand. Yeah, and then I just go up sort of very chromatically. Alright, so that part was. And then you do this pattern again. On the, so 16. And then you hit 14 with your pinky like that. And then the second part. Combine. Alright. And then you do the same pattern on the 15 here, and then 11, 14, 14, yeah. So combining them, and then you come back here on the 2nd fret, do something like that, all right. And then you do the same pattern again on the, so 17, 14, 15. And then we have a descending tapping lick in this region. So let me do the whole thing slow. So the whole thing again. I made a mistake there, so let me do that one more time. Let me do the real thing. Alright, a correction, so that's what I actually did, and then like that. And you move to the 12th fret here. You do a bend on the 11, F sharp. So So you have this pattern here. And then we're in home stretch now, and then 14. All right, slower. All right, and then finally we have a string skipping, string sweeping. It's just sweeping, sorry. And then you do a trill at the end. And I'll go up like that. So after the I do a tapping lick. Yeah, one more time, very slow. All right, just one more time. Yeah. And then one more leg. Alright, so that's Frenzy, and I hope you find that useful. Just one thing. So what I just show you is what I would do. So it's not necessarily like a note-for-note version of what Paul Gilbert did in that album. So learn at your own risk. Alright, but thank you. I'll see you in the next video.